Good evening, everyone. A second push of some cooler air across the area for your Tuesday. With the cold front, though, not seeing any rain and really not even a cloud cover in the big country. Story really across the entire Lone Star State. No big impacts with that cold front, at least in the rain department. All that rain staying well off to the east. For us, we are going to see a dip in the cooler temperatures. I think any of those freezing temperatures, though, going to stay off to our west over towards the border with New Mexico. It has definitely been a wet November so far. So far, we have recorded over 6 inches of rain in St. Angelo, 6 8/100 of an inch recorded at St. Angelo Mathis Airport. Keep in mind, we still have a little bit of time left in November. Thankfully, at least over the next 7 days, we look to be staying dry. 5 19/100 of an inch fell in Abilene. Typically, November is one of our drier months in the Concho Valley and the Big Country. Hopefully, though, those rain totals will help us compensate for the very dry October we had. These are numbers from St. Angelo Mathis Airport. Low this morning was 48, high was 73, and it is above normal for this time of year. Thankfully, though, I don't think anybody was really complaining because overall felt like a nice day. You see that reinforcing shot of some cooler air. 37 right now in Amarillo. That's where I'm expecting most of the freezing temperatures to stay. 43 St. Angelo, or 53 in St. Angelo. Folks, I promise I can read. It's just late on a Tuesday night. 54 in Abilene. These cooler temperatures really going to be a bit of a contrast from earlier in the month. This is our average temperature for the month so far. That takes into account both the high and the low temperature. It's 63.9 degrees Fahrenheit and the same in the key city of Abilene. That is very much above the normal for this time of year. Hopefully, though, with a little bit of cooler weather on the way, that'll help us get a little bit closer to normal for this time of year. Tomorrow morning, expecting us to wake up in the 30s across the area. Officially forecasting that low temperature for your Wednesday of 39. 38 for your Thursday. That looks to be the coolest high temperature across the area, and 40 degrees for your Friday. We will at least warm up a little bit going into your weekend. If I'm being honest, Wednesday, probably not the best day to get out on the grill, but who am I kidding? It is always great weather to grill, because who doesn't love eating hot dogs and hamburgers? 58 degrees by 5 p.m. Officially forecasting that high in St. Angelo, 61 for your Wednesday. 70 for your Thursday, and that low temperature of 38 degrees. I think we're going to be staying above the freezing mark, so no big freezing impacts. And remember, you can always find your latest weather updates by following me on social media. Now, for a closer look at big country weather, here is meteorologist Chris Nation.
Britton, you and I were talking about how this high pressure is going to give us a fairly mild pattern. Now, here's what gets interesting. The first cold front created massive storm system. We had all the severe weather. We had those tornado watches a couple of nights ago, and it's still creating storms even now, 2 days later, as it's moving through Atlanta. Now, this time, same scenario sets up, but there's not enough moisture. Because of the lack of moisture that's in play, because of the first system using it all, this one will move through without even making clouds, much less storms. And if you look all the way out off the edge of the Pacific Northwest, they are talking about a storm of the century up there. It almost looks like a hurricane. They're going to see 30, 40-foot waves. Unbelievable energy. You can see the cork on that system. Now for us, clear skies look to continue to dominate across the region. In fact, you see the timestamp moving behind me, but there's not even clouds there, much less any chance of storms or anything like that. So no threats from that. We're going to see very chilly temps, though, without any clouds to act as a blanket. It gets cold, down to 39. Could be mostly clear tonight. Patchy fog, it's hard for us to find. Even 30s, down close to freezing in a couple of spots like Eastland, only going to get about 3 degrees away from that, so you got to keep that in mind. Gets that cold tonight, it's harder to warm up tomorrow. Mostly sunny, a high of only 60 up here in Abilene. That is not nearly as warm as it was today. Think about 15-degree difference. Keep that in mind. Quick check of the next 7 days across the region. We're going to see the temps rising up into the upper 50s to a couple of low 60s. No threat guide whatsoever of storm energy at all. Looks like high pressure is going to dominate, but we'll get back to the 80s by Sunday.